Welcome to the COMC High School Football Coaches Show, of course, presented by the great folks at Central Ozarks Medical Center, where your health is their mission. Also brought to you by MoDOT, Save Mo Lives, Slumberland Furniture, Slumberland at the Lake, Price and Randall, Injury Attorneys, and Lake Expo Real Estate, lakeexpo.com. We're here at Osage, home of the Indians, the top 10 ranked Indians as we go into homecoming week. Coach Shannon Jolley. Coach, you're coming off a big 48-0 win. You got a really good, powerful team. You beat California. The defense pitching a shutout. You had to be happy with that. What did you like from the defense?
Well, I think just that ultimate goal of maintaining a shutout at half. You know, we were able to rotate a lot of our young guys in. So it doesn't always look the same at the end of a game when you get kind of mass substitutions. But our staff worked really hard at substituting the right package of people in and stuff. And, you know, you really don't, as a defensive coach, you never want to give a shutout. You know, you never want to give it up.
Yeah.
And so when you get younger guys in, there's always that risk, and it's okay. You know, you want to try to get people playing experience. So we were glad to come away with a defensive shutout. That's a big deal.
That's always nice. Yeah, hang your hat on that thing. And how big is it when you get the opportunity to get the younger guys in there, get some varsity experience?
Well, it can be real good, and then it could be detrimental too. If you get kids out there and they don't perform very well, then it's kind of it's a double-edged sword. But now, you know, any chance we get, we're prepared to do it. And not all games are there, but at the same time, it's a little disappointing because you give up almost a full half of your older kids getting to play.
Yeah.
And so we're pretty healthy right now, so that's not an issue. But the experience of playing and running plays and defending plays, there's no substitution for those live games, so you really kind of missed out on half of an opportunity.
Interesting, okay. On the other side of the ball, on the offense, a couple of weeks ago, in the big win over Eldon, you were kind of pleased with the way you were able to throw the ball and run the ball, the way the offense was coming together. Did you build on that Friday night? Were you able to build on that? Yeah,
there were a couple of things within the game where we executed. We worked really hard on practice of trying to get some things taken care of, and during that game we were able to execute some of those. So yeah, it's just about putting all the pieces together.
Yeah, it's hard to believe we say this every year, but we're midway through the season already. It's gone like a flash. Is there anything that you're most proud of with this team so far at this point?
I think it'd probably really be two things. I think our staff. I'm really proud of our staff and how they've developed. I mean, we have an excellent football staff, and watching my guys develop as coaches has been pretty awesome. I mean, we're doing some really good things in those different position groups and from defense to special teams to offense, and then really just a senior class. Like, this is a great group of kids, high character, high commitment level. And, you know, that's where the pressure to win comes, is making sure those guys have the success that they've earned.
You know, and you don't say that lightly either. I mean, you're not blowing smoke because there are classes that are hard to deal with. They're, you know, the kids that just are, you know, tougher to deal with. This is a year where you just have good kids, it seems.
This group of kids, I told somebody the other day, and this is my favorite thing to say, nobody wants to come watch people they don't like. Mm-hmm. And so when you're walking around the high school all week long, and if kids don't like you, the student body are not going to come and cheer for you if they don't like you, or if you're not a positive role model or, you know, an extension of the classroom. So I'm telling you, our kids, our senior class, I know we've got a couple guys involved in the fall play. We've got guys in band. We've got guys that play multiple sports. And not only that, is they create positive vibes wherever they go, and I'm really proud of that.
That is cool. Well, they've got a good leader. You've got a big game Friday night, homecoming game against Hallsville, I believe. So we'll talk about that. That game is on Lake TV Friday night, pregame at 6:30, kickoff at 7. We'll talk with Coach Jolley about homecoming game this week when we come back on the COMC High School Football Coaches Show.
What's like and follow?
Phones are very distracting. Which is why Missouri now has a law against holding a phone while driving.
Dude, what are you doing? You can't hold your phone while driving.
Yeah, that's illegal.
Buckle up.
At COMC, your health is our mission. Central Ozarks Medical Center offers pediatrics at 2 lake locations and 3 OBGYNs at the Osage Beach Clinic, offering same-day appointments. At COMC, our doors are open to everyone, whether you live at the lake or just here visiting. COMC for the best medical, dental, and behavioral health care. Get more info on how COMC can help you at centralozarks.org. COMC, where your health is our mission. Welcome back to the COMC High School Football Coaches Show. Osage coach Shannon Jolley, the Indians, homecoming week this week against Hallsville on Friday night. A lot of fun stuff leading up to the game. The game is huge, obviously, every week, but you get a lot of fun stuff. You got a parade, and you got a whole bunch of different things you got to deal with.
Fun for who? No, it's pretty cool. It is unique here. You know, it's nice to have it on Monday to get it out of the way. But if you've never been to it, it's pretty cool on the Strip.
Yeah.
You know, they'll have boats and things, and it's a little bit unique than other places with the lake area and stuff. So, no, those old traditions are still pretty fun.
Yeah.
We've just got a lot going on with JV games and freshman games today as well. But no, the kids are up there right now working on their floats and stuff like that. And it's always good when you get down there and you see people out, and especially since it's around, you know, something like high school sports. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool. It's a great environment. And we've talked in past years about the specialness of homecoming. I remember the first year we were together doing the coaches show, and you had a whole lot of former players come back to see you, you know, during homecoming that year. It's kind of a special time when you get to see these former players who are kind of like sons to you in some instances. It's kind of neat.
Yeah, I think really, though, their motivation to come back is to see how much I've softened up, because that seems to be the topic of conversation when they come back and they go, oh, you're a lot softer than
Yeah,
you used
you were
to be."
never this nice.
And but anyway, no, it's cool. I have super fortunate and blessed to have relationships with so many of my players, even from other schools, and that's probably would go down as the highlight of my career. I never would have imagined, but I had great leadership myself. Some of my mentors and coaches that helped me definitely impressed upon me the importance of those relationships and maintaining relationships. So as you get older, though, with that comes the good and the bad. But just kind of keeping track of everybody has been it's a chore, but it's also fun to be a part of.
Kind of cool, kind of the benefit that you don't think about when you go into coaching, that you do kind of become the father figure to a whole lot of your players over the years, and in today's society, that's pretty important. So the actual matchup Friday night here on Lake TV, homecoming game, Hallsville. This Hallsville team usually comes in pretty tough-nosed, tough to play. They're playing their best ball of the year, winners of 2 in a row.
Yeah, no, they're playing really well. Got a lot of energy, super athletic. I mean, this is going to be a tougher competition for the last couple of weeks, and no, they do a really good job. I think they're dangerous. I think they can make big plays, and I think they can disrupt things on defense. I think we're going to have our hands full. Yeah,
as you go in with a game plan to, again, try to be pretty even on the offense, throwing and running, or you want to specifically, you know, punch them in the nose with a run game?
I think it's just, you know, kind of see how they handle things. Teams will come in sometimes and they'll want to take away a certain thing, and then you have to pivot and move on. We try not to go in with anything specific, because then if you get there and you get a different look, then all week you've talked about this. So we just try to have a general approach and continue to improve, you know, ourselves and what we're doing.
That's cool. So Osage, Friday night, right here on Lake TV at home against Hallsville. Homecoming game. We'll have the homecoming fun, too, for you during halftime, so don't miss that. Coming up next, we're going to head over to Camdenton as the Lakers come off a big win last week. We'll talk with Coach Parr Pitts here on the COMC High School Football Coaches Show.
Lake life starts here. At Lake Expo Real Estate, we know that buying or selling a lakefront property is more than just a transaction. It's the beginning of a new chapter. A chapter that we strive to make easy, from listing to closing. In a competitive market, we showcase your property to the masses online with lakeexpo.com, returning unmatched visibility. And if you're ready to buy that lake house, our team lives and breathes the lake lifestyle, so we know what this chapter is all about. At Lake Expo Real Estate, we believe in community, cherishing those lasting memories, and helping make your lake dream a reality. Check us out online to find lake properties. No logins, no distractions, just pure, unfiltered lake views and options. Lake Expo Real Estate, where we are ready to be a part of your next chapter.
Welcome back to the COMC High School Football Coaches Show. As you can see, we've made our way to Camdenton, home of the Lakers, on the practice field. And Coach, last home game of the regular season this week. We're only midway through the season, so it's kind of going to end the season with a lot of road games.
Yeah, we do. We got our journey ahead of us, but we're excited about being at home. This will be senior night. It'll be a fun night for us.
Yeah, coming off a win, that always makes things nicer. A homecoming win, no less, as you beat up on the opponent last week. A big, 53-24 homecoming win. That had to feel good.
Yeah, it was. Our guys played with a ton of energy, played with a lot of confidence, made big plays really in all the phases of the game. We kicked a field goal, had a pick six, 108-yard pick six by Michael Machino, and then offensively we were able to get some dynamic plays all the way through.
Yes, indeed. The defense really came through. I mean, early in the game, you had a couple of turnovers. It's like, and the defense was there. They shut them down, stopped them. And you mentioned that 108-yard pick six, and that really kind of set the tone for the rest of the game.
Yeah, it did. It was kind of the catalyst for us to get going, because in our first 4 plays we had 2 turnovers, and so that was not a great way to start, but it was all sort of covered up whenever we came out and made a big play on defense.
You get those early turnovers like that, are you shaking your head going, oh, not again, right? But again, the defense was just really great. They stepped up, did the job, got that early pick six, and then the offense really got it cranking. They got it. What did you see from the offense?
Well, we kind of spread it out and gave our guys opportunity to make plays in space in both the passing and the running game. It was good, and we had to play a bunch of guys. A bunch of guys got touches, and so it was a team offensive victory for us.
Yeah. Who's number one? I was watching the game on Lake TV, of course, and this number one guy, he's a flash. He's got a lot of speed.
Yeah, he's a junior. Quentin Cruson is number one. He's definitely a flashy guy, can make some big plays, both in the run game and the pass game.
You get that win. What does a win like that do for the players and the coaches? Is that like a big lift?
Oh yeah, for sure. You're looking for some of the proof of your work, and being able to go out there and be effective and get the win is just sort of that reward for the hard work you put in for the previous year, really. And,
yeah.
That was our first win of the season, so those guys have been waiting for that to show up, and it's really about doing it every day. And you put enough of those days together, you stack them up, then you got a chance.
Absolutely. And we were talking earlier, you don't have a huge senior class. You've only got, I think, 10 guys on the roster that are able to play on the senior class, which means you're relying heavily on underclassmen, juniors, sophomores, and stuff like that. It's kind of tough for the now because you have to, put so much responsibility on the underclassmen, but it might pay off in the future.
Yeah, and our senior class does a great job, but they started with 13. A couple guys that got hurt, and one of our guys is a dual sport guy. He's a soccer and football player and kicks for us. So, but those guys that are able to get in there and mix it up are doing a tremendous job. And the more experience you get as a underclassman, the better you're going to be. And so we look at it like if I'm a sophomore, by the end of the season, week 9, I need to be playing like a junior.
Yeah.
And if I'm a junior by week 9, I need to be playing like a senior because you have a lot of that experience.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. Okay, so we move on from last week's win over Battle. You got Rockbridge this week, and this is a Rockbridge team that they're 2-3, but I think they're a lot better than that. They've lost to some really good teams.
Yeah, their losses are to good teams and probably matchups that favor the opponent when you get in there. They're definitely dangerous. They're as big a team as we've seen all season.
Yeah.
Their offensive line, their defensive line, their linebackers, their running backs, they're all just big, strong guys that can move the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, another Columbia team. So we'll talk more about the matchup on Friday nights against Rockbridge when we come back on the COMC High School Football Coaches Show.
Hey everybody, it's Daryl Cunningham with Slumberland Furniture at the Lake. We're in the middle of our fall home sale. I know the temperature's hot outside, but the deals are even hotter inside. Not only do we have great deals, but we're also doing 0% interest financing for up to 36 months. Come check everything out at Slumberland Furniture, where we're bringing happy home.
Competing on the field requires hard work.
It also requires effort and making good choices, which carries over off the field.
Like good choices behind the wheel of your car. Did you know that a driver is 20 times more likely to be in a serious accident if texting and driving?
Last year alone, 104 people were killed in Missouri from distracted driving.
So keep leading the statistics. Don't become one.
Buckle up, phones down. This Drive Safe, Boat Safe reminder brought to you by Price & Randall Injury Attorneys.
Welcome back to the COMC High School Football Coaches Show. Camdenton Lakers head coach Par Pitts got a big matchup at home Friday night against a pretty darn good Rockbridge team. That's one thing I've noticed in the new conference is, you know, instead of playing Springfield teams, you got Jeff City and Columbia teams. You got several Class 6, you know, I mean, big, strong kids as a general rule. This is a tough conference.
It is. There's no off nights, you know, in this conference. We're going to be playing 3 Class 6 teams and no Class 4 teams, really. So that's it's going to be tough every Friday. So the benefit on the other end is if you can get through that conference schedule and build some effectiveness, build some confidence, then you got a chance to make a run in districts.
Yeah, and this Rockbridge team, as we mentioned, they're 2-3. Those 3 losses are against 3 really good teams, including last week. I think they lost to Hallsville, one of the best teams in the state, in my opinion. Went to the state championship last year, and they held them to like 16 points. I mean, they were in that game. So this Rockbridge team is good.
Yeah, you know, they had a good program, a good team last year, made it deep into the playoffs, and so we know we'll have our hands full as we go through. But you know, last year they got a fake field goal to beat us in the fourth quarter, so we know that we can go out there and compete with them and let it loose.
Yeah. Is it tough to live up to, the Camdenton Lakers have such an amazing football tradition of, you know, being one of the best teams in the state, winning state championships over the history and stuff like that. So is it hard to live up to that tradition when you go in week after week playing, you know, bigger schools, bigger guys a lot of times?
You know, we really cherish the tradition of Camdenton Laker football, but I think if you're trying to compare yourselves, you know, comparison is a thief of joy. So we definitely don't want to do that. We just know that we're going to go out there and try to get better each week and try to represent Camdenton like we want to, we want our families, our crowd, our students to be proud of what we do. And if we can go out and compete at a high level, I think they will be proud.
Comparison is the thief of joy. I like that.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'd heard that before. That's really good. Okay, so we know they're good on defense because they held a great Hallsville team to 16 points last year. What is your offense going to have to do to move the ball?
Well, we're going to have to spread it around a little bit, kind of like what we did this past week and what we did against them last year. We got to be able to really see what they're going to do. If they're going to pack the box to stop the run, we're going to have to throw it. If they're going to get guys deep in coverage, we're going to have to try to run the football. So it's going to be one of those situations that it may change quarter to quarter, play to play.
Yeah.
I know last year they gave a lot of different looks, and so we got to be able to guess right a few times and made some big plays.
What are you going to have to do on defense?
Defense, we're going to have to make them snap it again, and because they are big and strong, and so we've got to let our guys get in there and make tackle, be aggressive. Last week the recipe was good in our aggressiveness and bring a lot of pressure.
Yep. Okay. That is your COMC High School Football Coaches Show, presented by the great folks at Central Ozarks Medical Center, where your health is their mission. Also brought to you by MoDOT, Save Mo Lives, Slumberland Furniture, Slumberland at the Lake, Price & Randall Injury Attorneys, and Lake Expo Real Estate, lakeexpo.com.
Take Lake TV with you wherever you go. Watch Lake TV on demand on YouTube, Roku, and Fire TV.